What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. Back with another Wednesday one-off, and we're actually going to sit down and play StarCraft 2 this week. Chaplin, who's joining me again. We tried last week, and the servers just wouldn't cooperate. But in addition to our good neighborly Chaplin, we have Mike, another member of the 232, who's decided to come on board and hang out. We're going to be playing co-op missions, but Mike's going to be sitting here because it's all about community and having fun. So how's it going, Chaplin?
Pretty good.
And welcome to the show, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime, of course. That's what we're all about. So, we're going to go in, play a couple of co-op missions, maybe one or two, have a little bit of fun. I just got another upgrade for Nova, and everybody knows my obsession with ghosts in general. Don't judge me.
I try not to.
Well, you're one of the few that wouldn't. So, we're going to be playing, it looks like the Temple Defense mission, where we have to hold out against waves and waves and waves of horrible things. But for those of you out there, StarCraft 2 did go free to play, and even the co-op commanders you get up to level 5 for free. But it's incredibly worth it to shell out the money for all three of the campaigns, and even Nova's DLC campaign. They're a lot of fun, the story's really in-depth. I know I wasted way too much of my life. How about you guys?
I still recommend if you want to go for the free-to-play aspect of it and just try to enjoy multiplayer first before reaching into the story. Unless you want to know what happens and what's the setting behind the multiplayer, then go ahead and pick up the story mode. Otherwise, either way is fun. If you're more just multiplayer aspect, go for the multiplayer. If you're a bit of both, pick up the story. Start with Wings of Liberty. If you like the Wings of Liberty campaign, pick up the next one. Just go from there. What about yourself, Mike?
Well, personally, for me, story is always what's drawn me to video games. But if it's a really good multiplayer, like what I've been seeing from like videos of this game, I think it would be just great in general for either side.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I mean, everybody knows I'm a fanboy of the StarCraft story. I'm a big Raynor fan. He has the same tattoo as me. I had it first, but he's got the same tattoo as me. The story is great, but the other little bits that come in are awesome. The multiplayer is balanced. They rip out a bunch of the single-player units, and they make it really, really, really fun to play multiplayer. And I've never had so much fun losing at a video game as I do in StarCraft, so that tells you a lot. But, so we just got a new commander that came out when StarCraft went free to play and everything, and that's Mira and Matt Horner. And Nick, or Chaplin, you've been playing as Matt and Mira for a while, and how are they handling?
They're pretty fun. It's a little annoying with some of the production units, like they only have the Assault Galleon as their main source, but they have Matt's starport that he gets to use as like a secondary supply for his aerial units.
Yeah, and they're all about airborne units and claiming the skies, essentially, right?
More or less.
So, Matt, have you actually dropped into any of the co-op missions and stuff a lot yet? Mike? I keep forgetting names.
I heard Matt.
Yeah, I said Matt, and I don't know where my brain is. Welcome to Thorium Gaming, where my brain is completely screwy and everyone around me laughs at me.
We try not to.
I'm going to call lies on that.
But anyway, I have not actually dropped into anything yet. I've been wanting to, because like I said, I have been doing a little bit of research on it. It really does look like a new game. To be honest, though, I know nothing about it. I wasn't even entirely sure about story, because the things I would find were kind of conflicting. Some would say, like, don't bother with story, and then others would be like, what story? So, but I'm glad to hear that there is some form of story in this, because that's something to check out. So,
especially since StarCraft Classic is also up on their launcher, the entire storyline gets strung out through the original StarCraft, Brood War, Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void, it's all one complex, involved story. So, for some of the people that are saying the story in StarCraft 2 isn't there, I would highly suspect that they have not actually played through the original games.
Yeah. Huh. So I'm just reading something right now on it, and nope, they trash. Never mind. Can't talk about that anymore. Doesn't exist.
Now back to it.
Yeah, no. I am, however, looking forward to getting some playtime, actual playtime with this, because it, like I said, I keep saying it, but you know, this is about talking, so I got to keep doing that. But it does look like it will be and can be a very good fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to sit down and just relax. The co-op missions, they're a little bit more relaxed than actual multiplayer is, and personally, I love sitting down with members of the 232, or just sitting down and having fun anyway, and playing off these co-op missions. They release a new one every now and then, and the newest one is a bit of a pain. It really expects you to go hardcore into it. Same time, it's a great challenge, and it's worth the time that you're going to spend sitting on your butt playing video games anyway. I mean, I can't really think of any of the co-op missions that There's a starbase all of a sudden. You did that on purpose, Chaplin.
I was waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Well, suddenly, there's explosions everywhere, and I'm freaking out. Okay.
And then suddenly, explosion.
Well, one thing I've learned over the Wednesday one-offs, sitting down and hanging out with the good Chaplin, is that any chance he gets to mess with me, he's gonna take that chance.
No, easily. If we ever play multiplayer with Widow Mines, it's bound to happen.
We're not discussing Widow Mines. You're not allowed to talk about Widow Mines.
Go watch the last Wednesday one-off. That's StarCraft. Let me rephrase that.
Essentially, he's incredibly skilled at using the Widow Mines, and I hate the fact that he's incredibly skilled at using the Widow Mines.
Our defenses are proving effective.
So that sounds like a big problem.
Just a bit. It's fun for me, because you have to have some sort of detection ability in order to see him.
Think about a mine that can move around, and it buries itself under the ground, and can hit land and air targets, and he builds like 500 of them.
That sounds terrible to be against. Like,
It's pretty fun.
God.
I get a kick out of it.
I mean, yeah, it's probably extremely fun for the user, but for the person that's being used on, that just sounds like, ugh,
Bad times?
extremely bad times. I don't think bad times is a good enough word to describe the feeling you would have with that.
It's a bunch of screaming and crying and sniveling, usually me doing all of the above.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like attacking an enemy you're not prepared for.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I go with a couple of strategies, both of which involve ghosts, and everybody who knows me knows that I love ghosts. Think of them like Jason Bourne with a cloaking field.
Oh.
And that's kind of what a ghost is. I love them. The story behind them is awesome.
Temple is under siege from a void thrasher. Slay it before it
If you like reading it all, Mike, one thing you might want to look into is Nova's backstory. I think the book is literally just called Nova, and it explains what ghosts are. They're psionically gifted humans who, well, they're awesome. I love ghosts.
Huh. Where can I find this?
Any
Chapters would have
website,
it.
I believe. Or there's, you can probably find it online free somewhere if you really want to look for it. They might have little excerpts here and there, if you want to read, like, the first chapter or two.
One thing I will give Blizzard credit for is they do a lot of the extraneous stuff for their games. Speed of Darkness Liberty's
That was a good one.
Crusade,
Are being attacked.
and there was a third one. It's in my library. They were all about the initial attacks of the Zerg and everything that happened around the first StarCraft
Your
game.
prediction is admirable, commanders. We have 2 more Zenith
Oh,
stones
that's
to
that one.
address.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Status report.
Yeah, it's not coming to me either, but they were a bunch of books, and they were all incredible.
Our allies' base is under
So if you like reading, there are books out there for the StarCraft series.
Status report.
They're a lot of fun.
Confirm that last.
Alright, so I just checked Ghosts out on Wiki for StarCraft 2, and yeah,
Over
no,
here.
they seem like they can be,
hybrid detected.
what's the right word?
Everywhere we go,
Awesome.
there they are.
Yeah, that can
En
work.
route.
It
Brutal,
seemed like,
devastating.
Yep.
Add-on complete.
Yeah, pretty much all of
Honestly.
those words fit in there.
Honestly, though, anything that can ever cloak itself or something like that can always have the
Going
potential
on
to
the
be
assault.
extremely deadly.
Well, here's the best part too. When you're playing as Nova in the Commander series, she's permanently cloaked.
Oh.
Executed.
In the first game, your ghosts had, well, even in StarCraft 2, they had an energy limit to them for how long they could stay cloaked, but Nova is one of the Dominion's high-end special operatives, so she maintains cloak at all times.
We have
Oh
eliminated
my.
all but one of the volatile Zenith stones.
That's intimidating,
Clear.
to say the least.
I guess I should come back and defend my part of the base, shouldn't I?
Just a bit.
Yeah, defending's pretty important.
And I just lost a bunch of Marines to some Banelings.
Our allies are being
Alright,
attacked.
so for all those people who are also going to be new to the game, and also me, what are Bane?
There's a genus within the Zerg swarm called the Zergling. It's essentially, think the Xenomorph from the Alien series, the Runners. It's
Yeah.
that, only less stealthy.
En route.
Upgrade complete.
Huh.
And it evolves into essentially a giant rolling acid sack.
Oh
Our
my.
allies' base is
Yeah,
under
It
it's not
explodes with a large area of effect acid, and it is just devastating. Banelings are
Strictly business.
terrible.
hybrid detected.
I just lost, like,
I'll
3
prepare
Marauders and 6 Marines to 4 Banelings.
Oh my.
Loud and clear.
They're very weak. They're easy to kill from range, but if they do get into their detonation range,
Maintain our
you're going to be
defenses,
suffering a
commanders.
fair bit. They're one of the Zerg's most potent new weapons in StarCraft 2. Thankfully, if you go back and do the original game, you will not have to deal with Banelings. They only came out in the second
Status
game.
report. Terminating.
That attack wave just got decimated.
Between snipes and your mines, yeah.
Nope, also my call down the fleet.
Oh, that would explain the shadows.
The temple.
Mhm.
We must end its assault.
Shadows aren't only in your head, you know.
Strictly business.
But they're mostly in my head.
Opening fire.
Hey, the voices in my head like me, man.
Initiating assault.
Nice.
Acknowledged.
But speaking of challenges and weird things coming down, so for this month, guys, since Christmas tends to be a commercialized time of year, you lose track of what's really important. So I got a challenge for all those gamers out there, especially members of the 232 who are having fun this time of year. Pick a game that you really enjoy. Something that, you know, you've spent a bunch of hours in and are fairly good at.
Got it.
Crank the difficulty up to 11
Loud
and try to
clear.
fight through it.
Understood.
Nothing is more satisfying and more rewarding
Signature detected.
than beating a game on a more difficult setting than you're used to.
Oh, for sure.
Upgrade
Definitely.
complete.
But with that challenge, there does arise a few problems that I want to talk to you about. such as the games that don't actually have difficulty settings.
Executing.
Fair enough.
Upgrade complete.
Well, you could always drop into a game with friends and challenge friends at them, because a lot of the games that don't have difficulty settings are multiplayer. So, definitely wouldn't hurt to spend some time with friends and family gaming. I mean, it's what we do anyway, so might as well make it part of an event for the month. Aside from that, though, you could always pick a game that has difficulty modes, or just find something to have fun. The point I'm trying to make is, gaming should be fun. It should be part of what we do.
Advancing on target.
Spend this month, instead of worrying about the financial
Drop pods incoming.
stupid part about the holidays, spend it doing something that we all love, that's part of our culture, and have fun.
Say again?
Because I know personally, at least as far as my family and everything is concerned, we don't really care about gifts during the holidays. We are more concerned with Christmas dinner, spending time together,
Enemy drop pods.
all that sort of stuff. So I'm just trying to extend that to the rest of the gamers. We are one giant community, so let's act like it.
Upgrade complete.
Amon is assailing the temple with a Void Thrasher. It has to be eliminated.
Clear.
But yes, Mike, if you haven't actually played through the StarCraft story yet, I highly suggest you go back and play the first game. Some of the characters that appear in Wings of Liberty, especially Legacy of the Void, it won't make sense why they're there unless you've played the first game and its expansion.
The Zenith Stones are no more, and their volatile energies have been quelled.
I heard something about
Thrasher eliminated.
text-to-speak going off.
Yeah, I did too, so we might have lost voice comms with our new buddy there for a second. That's okay. I can figures it out in a little bit.
Of course.
I'm reading you.
If anything, you probably tap out faster than I can.
I think maybe he just lost the ability to speak for a minute there.
Hybrid combatants
Probably.
confirmed.
Hello.
There we go.
All right.
What up?
So to be honest, I think that was another thing with just everything in the world working against me and making me drop out. But I'm back.
Alright, well now that you're back, I can repeat what I said. It's awesome. Come on guys, we're completely professional and we never have anything go wrong on this show, ever. And if you believe that,
Yeah,
I
no
have a bridge to
problems
sell you.
Allies are being attacked.
But if you haven't played the first game yet, Mike, I highly suggest you go back and play the original StarCraft. There's a bunch of characters that will show up in the campaign that won't make sense of why they're there and who they are unless you've played through the first game. And the games are fairly cheap. They're well worth the time that you're going to invest in playing them. I mean, I lost entire summers of my life to StarCraft.
It's like a
Oh
bomb
my.
just went off in my heart.
Our allies are being
That
attacked.
is a long time. So I'm gonna guess these games just have an enormous amount of content within them.
Upgrade complete.
Well, the main storyline and the main campaign, there is an achievement in Wings of Liberty called Hurry Up It's Raid Night where you beat the entire campaign in 8 hours. I have tried for that achievement like 4 times. Again, I'm not the greatest player in the world. I have never gotten that achievement.
Neither have I, so I shouldn't be laughing.
Sounds like
Enemy drop pods
what?
incoming.
I don't like. Okay, I like hard games and I love challenges, but defeating an entire game in 4 hours, that just even that sounds difficult.
Well, it is possible. In theory.
In theory.
The game's worth the time that you're going to spend, though. I mean, just the characters themselves. You said you're a big fan of story, right?
Being attacked.
Yes.
Just the little connections like
Our allies
when Matt Horner first shows up and starts talking to James Rayner. You don't know who these guys are yet, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But when they first show up and all that sort of stuff, you really get a feel for the characters. Definitely worth the time that you're going to invest in it.
enemy drop pods incoming.
There's a reason why I'm fanatically loyal, shall we say, to Kerrigan. It sounds weird. I know it really sounds weird, but I love Sarah Kerrigan, and you'll understand why if you play through the first game. It's just a bunch of really cool stuff. The games really interlock a lot. They bring in things from the books and the comics and all the other short stories and everything, but they don't do it in a way that you have to go and read all of the rest of it. If you just start in fresh at StarCraft 2 in Wings of Liberty or even Legacy of the Void, each story is self-contained, but it draws from the other things in the series
The
too.
temple is nearly operational. Stand firm, commanders. The battle is
Sounds
almost
interesting.
won.
You know, I often give
No
Blizzard
use
a
giving
lot
up now.
of flack for certain things that happen. Servers going down last week when we tried to record comes to mind.
Have to deal with more than one Thrasher this time. Make haste.
But Blizzard really is in depth with their stories. Chris Metzen,
Dominion aircraft in motion.
for sure, takes pride in the work that he puts out. And the stories are really, really rich. They're really in depth. I honestly have nothing that I can complain about story-wise when it comes to these games.
Griffin's ready for boarding.
Our allies are being attacked.
So if this is your first time stepping into it, I envy you. I would love to go back and experience it all for the first time all over again.
So it's one of your top favorites, I'm gonna guess then.
On my library of games that I've put a lot of time into, you've got games like Baldur's Gate, where I've got literally 2,000 plus hours spent in it.
Our allies
StarCraft is right up there with it.
hybrid detected.
Huh.
I have beaten the
To be honest-
campaign more times than I care to admit.
I mean, to be honest, that sounds like you have a really big devotion to this game, man, because I don't even think I've put in like 400 hours in every game I've played. Like, just imagining someone having 2,000 hours in a single game is absolutely amazing to me.
Our allies are being attacked.
Well, it's built up over the course of a long, quote, wasted, end quote, life spent gaming. So,
Base is under attack.
however, there was one time where me and a couple of friends spent 72 hours straight playing StarCraft. We looked and probably smelled awful at the end of that.
That is not a thought any of your viewers need to have.
Well, like I keep saying, it doesn't matter if you're laughing with me or if you're laughing at me. As long as you're laughing, you're having fun. And that's the whole point.
Our
Very true.
SCVs are under attack.
And my base is getting blasted. And of course, the good Chaplin has his mines to defend him. We both chose very mobile, very, very light offensive armies for this map. Probably not a good idea in the grand scheme of things.
The temple is under attack.
Maybe we need to survive for
Keep it as
another
safe as I can.
30
Raised
seconds.
mercenary by my side.
Our allies are being attacked. Our
We
allies
might just make it. We might just make it.
your forces upgrade
Let's cross our fingers.
We'll be fine. My base is taking a hit, but at least I have 3 other command centers before we get wiped.
Before they either make it or not make it, you guys should take guesses whether or not they make it or not in the comments.
We're gonna make it.
Our allies' base is
All right,
We made
never
it.
mind.
Has been primed.
We had 30 seconds left.
Activation will eradicate Aegon's remaining forces. Well done, commanders.
I just like laughing at myself, so that's all good. I wonder if that gave me enough experience to get my nuke.
All right. So when you say your nuke, do you mean a literal nuke or an ability for your character that nukes?
I would love to say the former, but it's actually the latter. In co-op, your commanders start off all at level 1. For instance, I can talk real good, like I swear. I have one of the commanders named Swan. I've only got his vehicle specialist perk unlocked. Meanwhile, Nova is level 8, almost level 9, and at level 9 she unlocks a tactical nuclear strike and holo decoys for her assault mode. So as your characters level up in this, your commanders up to level 15, they get more and more of their particular aspect of fighting. So Raynor is infantry focused, Sarah Kerrigan as the Queen of Blades is like Hydralisk and Zergling focused, Artanis is Daelon Protoss focused, and Nova is all about being a stealthy, spooky, shoot you in the chest while you're not looking person.
If only you could have run that. But to be honest, I don't think there's any body part that rhymes with spooky.
Not that I could say on air.
Yeah, try.
Alright, so Chaplin, do you want to do one more? Because we went through that in about 25 minutes.
That's fine. I have all except for 4 heroes at level 15. So,
Well, you know what? I might give Han and Horner a try. See what it's like on the other side of the fence.
debating about. I'll go with this one. We are playing
I'll
Temple.
continue to sit here and pretend I know what's happening.
Well, it'd be nice to come back and see everything answered when you watch the video whenever it goes up, i.e. tomorrow.
Very true.
Because we always film in advance. We're future people.
Technically, we
future
are
people.
filming in advance by a day.
Hey, I like being in the future. It makes me feel special.
Feel special. Okay.
So, wait. I just have a question.
Hmm.
Wouldn't we technically be the past people and not future people?
Ooh, he got you there.
It really depends. Because we're telling you what's going to happen. So in that instance, we're in the future. But we're doing it before you know what's going to happen, so that's in the past. Mike, you just
Okay, so
created
it's
a new
time.
paradox inside my head. Thank you.
You
I'm now
are
confusing
very-
myself.
Oh, join the club. I do that every time I talk.
Open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah, basically.
So, aside from StarCraft, which you're trying to get into, Mike, what other games are you playing right now?
Well, I was playing a lot of games like Dark Souls. I was playing some, I think it was Fortnite, the online version, with a couple buddies. But then I started to get back into Bloodborne. But you see, I'm, as they call them, console peasants. And you see, I'm starting to understand more why they call them console peasants, because my PS4 went out
Oh,
right in the middle of a boss, too. I was so happy because I had almost beaten
I'll
him.
keep it
And I
as
was like,
safe as
yes,
I
finally,
can.
I'm gonna get to the final boss now, haha! And I was like, wait, no!
That whole moment of pure rage.
did it get fried or did it just black out?
You see, it's having a... I'm not sure where the problem is, because the last time I sent it in to get repairs, instead of actually repairing it, they sent me a brand new one, so yeah, Sony, you cheap bastard.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that. Anyway, so instead of doing any actual repairs, they sent me a new system. But it's funny because that system has the exact same problem. It's a problem with its power kind of control unit.
Power supply and intake, probably.
Yeah, because
Any-
every time I go to turn it on, all it does is go click, 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 turn it off.
Oh.
Every single time.
I mean, just let
So,
remind me
I'm a
later.
goof.
I'll have a buddy of mine. We could talk about it. I'll have a buddy of mine probably take a look at it.
Ooh, if so, definitely, because I was going to try to repair it myself instead of spending another $100. So, yeah.
Well, the beautiful part about being on this particular channel is we don't judge whatever system you play on as long as you're gaming.
Well, some of us don't. Dave.
Oh yeah, we'll go with Agnew. It's just our go-to fall guy is Agnew. That's all you got to worry about.
Usually it's me, but this time since I'm actually here and he's not, him.
Okay,
Fair.
so from my understanding then, is you guys pick on whoever isn't here.
Essentially,
More or less.
but it's part of being part of the glorious online community that we've built up around ourselves.
Very true.
I've also known Draymond and Dave since Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Oh, that is a long time.
Yeah.
But that's part of what this channel is meant to promote too, though, is you don't have to meet face to face to be friends with someone.
Mhm.
Very true.
It appears the enemy is advancing.
It's one of the
like-
beauties of our entire society, and I mean gamers in a whole.
We're facing Terran
It's
enemies.
it's an amazing thing because like Nick knows a little bit. Since you don't really know me, you don't know as much, but I'm basically a shut-in. I avoid contact with other physical people. Like, if I see someone in real life who I'm like, hey, I think I know them, I'm going to avoid them, most likely.
Not enough.
And we all have our
But
quirks.
if I hear a random person online, I'm gonna be like super friendly towards them because it's amazing. All right, I'm starting to stutter because I'm just that.
It happens.
We all stutter, man. And if that's the
English
worst
is
that
definitely my
happens,
first
then that's the worst that happens.
You should be enjoying this right about now. Want to get Chrono Wave?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with this, because the build structure and everything for Mr. and Mrs. Horner is a little odd.
What you want to do is start maxing your drones. Meantime, build your engineering bay, and then build the galleon, and then build armory. And then build another 2 or 3 galleons, and then start building your fusion core.
Well, if you look, I've got down near that left entrance, I've got Reapers already sitting there and a galleon defending while it pops Reapers out, so.
Mhm.
That is one thing, Mike, that you will have to kind of get used to, I guess would be a way to put it. Each one of the commanders do not have the entire tech tree for their specific race. For instance, Nova and Matt and Swan, they don't get medics. Raynor does, though, and medics are awesome.
Chrono boost activated.
Complete.
Our structures should research and create units much more
Yeah,
quickly
not
now.
having someone to heal your troops sounds like a big problem to have.
Well, there are ways around it. The Ravens for Nova, for example, they drop a healing bot of sorts. But the actual medics themselves are incredible.
Especially when the fact you can upgrade their bot supply they get. It helps a lot more
Signature detected.
when you can drop 2 or 3 of them. Then they heal and
This
cloak
just
and all
became
that upgrade later
considerably
on.
more difficult.
Oh, okay. So, like, while some classes will not have, or will not classes, some commanders, right?
Yep.
Soon the temple will be
While
ready.
some commanders won't have certain abilities, they'll have other abilities that'll make up for it.
Yeah,
Your guys are attacking the wall, by the way.
I know. I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah, screw me.
Don't forget to get your flying upgrade if you have it. I don't believe so. Maybe.
I don't think I got the flying upgrade yet. They are level 1 for
The
me.
temple have become unstable. It may be wise to dispose of them.
So, like, with all the level stuff, like, does it just level the more you use them in, like, actual, like, missions, or how does that leveling system work?
You
It
have
levels up-
objectives on the campaign missions. Sorry to cut you off, Chaplin.
You're fine.
You have base objectives, like in the mission we're doing right now, for example, we have to defend this temple.
Additional supply depots required.
And completing the main objective, i.e. actually surviving the mission, gives us a fair amount of experience. But there are also bonus objectives on the map. For this particular one, we have these crystals? Zenith stones, there we go. That if we destroy them, because they are well outside our base, the boundaries of our base, if we manage to get them and destroy them, we get bonus experience at the end of the map.
Amon is assailing the temple with a void thrasher.
You also gain bonus experience if you put it on a harder difficulty mode. You get bonus experience if you do random maps, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, so it rewards difficulty and doing different things.
Essentially, yes.
Hmm.
It's a pretty stereotypical way of setting things up, but end of the day, it works, so why not, right?
Makes sense.
One thing that you'll probably enjoy is that while the commanders may take a little bit to get used to, especially if you've not played them before,
Why is my droid all the way down there?
each one of the commanders does feel incredibly unique, even though they're using the same style of units. So while you could be playing a game as Raynor, it will not feel the same as playing it as Nova. It just straight up won't.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I want a sovereign battlecruiser.
Upgrade complete.
All right, so what's that?
It's a special skinned version of the battlecruiser that Mira gets, or Mira and Horner. Each one of the commanders does occasionally get their own skins, I want to say. Nova's, for example, gets way cooler looking ghosts, and Raynor, I forget what Raynor gets that's different.
Unit-wise, he gets the medic. I don't remember what else off the top of my head.
But essentially, a battlecruiser is a
Crap.
giant ship. It's essentially equivalent to like battle stars and that sort of stuff from other series. And Mira and Mats are just streamlined
These are
pirate-looking
awesome.
ones that are awesome.
Our allies' base.
Sorry about that. Privacy does not exist in my
Activating
house.
chrono boost now. That should
So,
greatly
had to go
increase
mute
the
real quick.
output of our structures.
But anyway, so like what I'm hearing is the different characters will also have like specialty skins for the different ability, or well, not so much ability, like different
Units.
Effects and stuff.
units. Yeah. So yeah, that's always fun. Like it's a weird thing because like we all know skins don't matter. They just are for looks. But for some reason, no matter what, we always want new skins.
The strike fighters need a platform before they can launch. We'll have to build one.
Yeah, it's inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but it's just a nice little addition.
What the hell? How do you... Oh, stupid Widow Mines.
Very true.
I could use some help up here.
I'm coming.
Our allies.
Sorry to cut you off there, but there's a Widow Mines now. Apparently I'm getting my
Also,
own...
they have Widow Mines.
Yes, but I've got cloaked wraith fighters.
And those counter Widow Mines?
They're flying and they're cloaked. They invisible.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hybrid detected. Marking location now.
I'll prepare countermeasures.
Our allies' base is under attack.
At least I have the one wall covered, I'll take that.
Only one of the unstable Zenith stones remains.
Hey, one's better than none.
The temple is halfway toward activation. Maintain our
I just like the fact that no matter what we're doing, as long as we're sitting back and enjoying the game, we're enjoying the game.
I'm semi getting a little stressed out, since I don't have my defense up on this wall. Otherwise I'm fine.
Yeah, but it's a good type of stress.
Is there such a thing as a good type of stress?
I mean, some stress
Our
is good.
allies' base is under attack.
Don't want to be like the dodo. Have no stress in your life, and then suddenly stress shows up. Boom, you become extinct.
It will severely harm the temple.
Oh, I thought you said Dota, not a dodo.
I kind of heard Dota too.
Our allies' base is under attack.
See, we play video games so much it just takes over our lives.
Oh, easily.
But it brings us into contact with a lot of awesome stuff. So
Very true.
it does balance out eventually. And I'm leaving a path of Reapers just lying all over the place.
I've noticed. You got a guy attacking up a bunker at the very top.
They're all over me.
And that's the quiet segment of the show where we're focusing on not getting ourselves killed.
Yeah.
All of our effort is put towards not dying.
And this is the part where I am going to try and think of something to make us talk about. And it's not working.
Incoming.
It's fine. And now we got drop pods. Great. More stuff to kill us with.
Just when you think it can't get worse, it gets
Our
worse.
structure should now operate at a
To be
greater
fair,
efficiency.
just like whenever the thought passes in their mind, how can things get worse? That's when it instantly gets worse.
Enemy drop pods incoming.
Yeah, I try not to tempt fate, or Mother Murphy, or
They're all over me.
anything in general, because life, as we know, does not
Void
like me.
Thrasher is bombarding the temple. You must end its assault.
Seems like you guys are in great company.
So far, we have a lot similar. But something I like to do is always tempt fate. I'm just like, what else can it bring at me? Come on. What?
How can it rain on my parade today?
Breaking my PlayStation was all you can do? Huh? What? That's all? That's all you got? I just like to see how bad I can make things.
Sounds like fun.
Keeps things interesting at the very least.
Upgrade complete.
And like something I always seem to do is whenever one thing goes bad, I'm like, well, I give up. Time to make everything else worse for
We
myself.
killed them before and we'll do it again.
Sort of like the theory behind quicksand.
Oh yeah, no. If I ever fell in quicksand, I would be like, well, time to die, and then I'll just put my head underneath.
Actually, that was a bad movie reference for the replacements with Keanu Reeves. It's like quicksand. First one thing goes wrong, then another, then another. Great movie.
Void Thrasher has been destroyed.
Sounds like it.
Upgrade. Our allies are being attacked.
Speaking of
Our
Keanu
allies' base
Reeves,
is under attack.
the name with the movie with his first name, was that any good? Keanu?
Your forces
It was about like some sort of kitten or something.
I couldn't tell you, I haven't seen that one.
Which one?
Keanu, I think it was called.
Our
don't know.
allies' base is under attack.
God, what was that new horror movie? Like The Snowman or something?
Oh, that murder one? I saw the trailer for it.
So like I was all excited. I was talking to a group on Discord about it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, hold up, I want to check it out too." And then 5 minutes they came back, and they were like, all the reviews for the thing. It was terrible. I was like,
The Zenith stones have been destroyed.
Oh,
Regrettable, but necessary.
I'm still gonna see it, because like even a bad horror movie is still good.
Any signs of activity from that one?
Bad
Has
horror
we-
movie is still a horror
Energy
movie.
signature detected.
Yeah,
And sometimes they're
finished
so
it.
awful that they're awesome. I'm thinking of Army of Darkness here.
like let's all be honest though. The only type of movies that when they're bad are comedies. You can't do bad with a comedy.
Adam Sandler would like to beg to differ.
Alright, well, he has funny comedy. I'm talking about like comedy that just doesn't
Our
work at all.
allies' base is under attack.
So, like Carrot Top?
Yeah, basically. Like, it's like, let's be honest. A bad action movie is just kind of a normal action movie. A bad horror movie is a different type of horror movie. A bad drama, well, okay, that's just a drama. Let's all be honest.
Yeah. See, when it comes to action movies, if you do enough bad action movies all together, you get The Expendables. So bad that it was good.
Well, or any Michael Bay movie.
Our structure should
No, Michael Bay is what happens when you mix way too many pyrotechnics.
That's also true. Transformers.
Please don't remind me that my childhood got slightly ruined. It's almost
Had
as
a bit of
bad as
cough
the
there.
Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh god. Okay.
The
So
temple's
I
under
remember
siege from
for
Void Thrasher.
one of my
Slaying
classes back in high
deals
school,
too much damage.
we were just sitting in class one day. We had finished all the assignments earlier, and the teacher was like, "You know what? I'll reward you guys. What movie do you want to watch?" And we're like, "I mean, we're not sure. What can we get?" And they're like, "Well, it has to be T, rated T for teen." We're like, "All right. Well, how about that? How about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that just came out?" And the teacher was like, "All right, I'll go get that, and we'll watch it tomorrow."
Forces are
And
under
so
attack.
we did. And so it was terrible. It
We
was so
regret our
bad.
choice.
We legitimately stopped in the middle of the movie and we're like, can we just like go sit in the quad or something? And the teacher was like, you know what, yeah, let's just go do that. We have a couple of balls to play
Our
with.
allies' base is under attack.
And
Yeah, the
what do you feel
remakes
about
were not very good at all.
that? I think it was the original second movie that introduced like other mutants, like the weird turtle and the bird.
Our allies' base
The
is under attack.
Snapping Turtle and
Our allies' base is under
Was it a dog? It wasn't Bebop and Rocksteady, but
No. But and then like they had a fight with Shredder. No, they had a fight with those two mutants in the dance club.
yeah, that was the second movie.
I enjoyed watching that movie just because of the dance scene.
Go ninja, go ninja,
Go
go.
ninja, go ninja, go ninja, go, go.
And of course, Splinter. I made another funny.
Oh yeah, he was a comedian in that one.
By the way, you might want to rebuild your Vespene, guys, just when you get a second your secondary base.
Complete, commanders.
Oh, did I lose them?
Temple for just a few more
Yeah,
moments.
I think so. Or never built them in the first
No
place,
use
one of the
giving
two.
up now.
Well, that would explain why Vespene is trickling in. I pay a lot of attention when I'm gaming, guys.
No, he doesn't.
Quiet, you! You're just a voice in my head anyway. At least that's what I'm going with.
Are you a firm believer in the theory that no one actually exists and you just created them in your mind?
I've just figured that my subconscious is really, 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 really weird. So, yes, I think, maybe? 42 purple pandas?
Oh, that's a lot of guys. Alright,
I now see why you like these mines so much, Chap.
Now you see why?
Oh, I always saw why. I was just always on the receiving end of those mines.
Not technically the receiving end. The standby on the, what is it? Cheerleading side end. If that makes sense.
Did you just call Nova a cheerleader?
If we work
No.
together, they should not be
I was
too
saying more of
successful.
on the sidelines. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Void Thrasher has been slain.
So Discord really doesn't like me today.
It could
But then
be
again,
worse.
It could just be the thing of me tempting fate earlier. Like, what else can you do?
Of course. Probably is what it is.
Well, technically speaking,
well,
this
won't
is the
make this.
second time we've tried to record this video today. The first time, my recording software recorded all of 10 seconds of it.
Well, that was
Wow.
fun as well.
That sounds terrible.
Oh, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome to have to record an entire day's episode.
Our soldiers
Yeah,
are
who
in
doesn't know?
trouble.
Who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to do twice the work for only half the game?
Ah, it's okay. It just means I got to sit down, play some more, and we got to bring you on board. Another member of the 232 coming in. I can't complain for that.
Upgrade complete.
I am definitely less effective at this particular commander than Chaplin Grimuldis is.
Greatly increase the output of our structures.
I wouldn't say I'm super effective myself, but thanks for the compliment.
It was less a compliment, more just a state of fact.
Yeah, like I've played some games with Chaplin before, and he has always known exactly what to do.
Well, when it comes to
He's
StarCraft,
very-
it depends on what race we're playing. If I'm playing Nova or Raynor, I'm pretty solid when it comes to the game. If I'm playing any other commander, it's basically cue the Benny Hill.
Like, let's all be honest though, whenever like you have a scene in a game where you have to like just sit there for like a long time and you're just gonna fast forward it, the Benny Hill music is just perfect for that scene.
Or the mission where we were, or not mission, the level on Blood and Bacon, which I still have not forgiven you for, Chaplin.
You're never gonna, so I don't care.
Where we're
Oh,
running
yeah.
around from a giant pig that's trying to eat us. Yes, you heard that right, Mike. Running away from a giant pig trying to eat us. But
Right,
since we've
is
completed
there
that
any-
game, that's probably a good place to end the episode there, guys. So, thank you, of course, to Chaplin and Mike for coming on today. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, welcome.
No problem.
So if you guys did like the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, come out and hang on one of these Wednesday videos or any of the other games that we all play, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you're turning the notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes up. Remember guys, life is a game, so play to win, and until next time, take care.